guys, Kom here with Studio Sweat and Studio Sweat On Demand, and I am here with the lovely on-staff registered dietitian, Miriam.
Hello.
Welcome back, Miriam.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm
3
not
weeks?
rested.
Of course you're not.
But I'm doing well. Baby's great.
And how old is he now?
2.5 weeks.
And how many workouts have you gotten in? Since she had the baby?
Over 10, probably. Yep.
Inspirational, Miriam, honestly.
Yeah.
You're helping yourself heal, and
Oh yeah.
look at you, so tiny.
Yeah, it helps, and mentally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're here to talk about a subject that's not that far off when it comes to pregnancy, and that is menopause.
Yep.
And of course, I brought you in because we did our first vlog in this series on kind of general tips to get through the symptoms and alleviate them and, just kind of take it on. The second vlog we did was more specific to exercise and menopause. And then today's vlog obviously is on nutrition. And I've heard that this is as important as everything else that we've talked about. So if not more even. So let's talk about it. What can we do?
Well, the first thing I hear a lot about menopause is weight gain and where the weight gain is, generally in the midsection.
Yeah.
And
shifts.
the unhappiness with that. So when I address that first, it really is huge to focus on exercise. I know we're talking about nutrition today, but increasing your lean body mass, or at least maintaining it with resistance training.
Yeah, because it does tend to atrophy on its own.
Yes.
And with lethargy.
Yes. And we do have some hormone changes that go on as we get older, so we actually have to up the ante a little, do more weight training, and change it up
BS,
more.
man.
I know, when we're more tired and want to lounge on by the pool. So really, really focus on exercise too. But nutrition is a big deal with weight gain as well, because you can increase your insulin resistance, which is increasing diabetes risk, when you eat refined carbohydrates, high sugars. That is going to increase that abdominal obesity. So that's going to relate to a lot of the weight gain as well. So you have to watch what kind of carbohydrates you're eating even more. And then also you want to watch out for low fiber. It's interesting because
that's one of the number one things that I read that's important during menopause, is that you keep your fiber up, which I wouldn't have thought. I would think iron and calcium, which I know both are true.
Yep.
Right?
Those are important too.
Help alleviate the symptoms, but why fiber?
So there's a little slower gut motility going on as we age, and if we're not moving as much. So things aren't moving the way they should, and that increases other problems.
When you say moving,
bowel movement.
It's true.
But we want things moving because we don't want, certain bacteria to be stuck for a while. That increases risk of cancer and other problems. So exercise, increase fiber, at least 25 grams per day. Insoluble and soluble, meaning fruits and vegetables, and then whole grains and breads and cereals. So any grain that you're eating, make sure it's whole. Try, the recommendation's 50% of your grains. I say when you're in the menopause state, you need to just make them 90% whole grain. Just be done with the refined grains. I'm sorry.
So learn, just literally Google, what food products are whole grain.
And it's checking the ingredients. You look at the first 2 ingredients, and if that grain is just flour, whether it be white,
enriched,
throw it, fortified, whatever.
Yeah.
If it doesn't say whole, then it's not a whole grain. Right. Oatmeal is different. It's naturally whole grain, but so that's a big deal. So watching the added sugars and then the carbohydrates, and not worrying about fruits. The sugars and fruits, eat plenty of those, and then vegetables.
Miriam
too.
quote: "I've never seen anyone get fat from eating too much fruit."
Never.
She does that look on her face.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Amen.
Also, you did mention 2 other points: iron and calcium. So also in menopause, a risk is bone density loss. So you really do want to be that resistance training, the exercise, but also making sure you're getting enough calcium in your food. So not just relying on your Viactives or the supplements.
And good sources for calcium and good sources for iron.
Well, dairy, but you want to be making sure that you're not eating a lot of full fat dairy because of the saturated fat content. So if you can do like a low fat, I always suggest organic dairy if you can, so you're not getting like the other garbage in there.
What's interesting? Maybe you can explain this to me. Why does organic milk last longer in your refrigerator than non-organic milk? Have you ever wondered that? Hi, Beth.
It's a brilliant question, because actually recently it was like opposite.
I would think, but it's not now. It lasts longer.
I think it honestly is just the farm and the distribution of,
like maybe it's closer to you?
Yeah, like how local is the farm? Like Costco seems to get stuff that lasts for a long time. They're getting things really quickly. In certain stores, like, the transportation is longer. Mm-hmm. So I think it's more about where the farm is.
Okay, that makes sense. Totally wondered about that.
Versus like the actual content or breakdown that's in the milk.
Totally wondering. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about iron?
Wondering. Yeah. Iron is, that is an issue when you're also trying to work on calcium, because they compete for absorption. So
you want to eat them separately, if possible?
Ideally.
So I can't have like a steak and milk.
I mean, you actually want like a steak and orange juice, because vitamin C, which is disgusting.
Can I have vodka in it?
But yes. So, if you do like bell peppers or something, which is vitamin C, but vitamin C can help the uptake of iron, but calcium will compete. So, if you're taking your supplements, try not to take your calcium and iron together, because they're just going to compete. Also, if you're eating like, meats and you're not really bleeding anymore, you shouldn't be iron deficient. And then also exercise does help with it too. It's interesting. Iron-rich foods that aren't the obvious, like red meat, is lentils, beans, kidney beans, even in fish and chicken. So you don't always have to go to the red meats.
Awesome.
And then don't have calcium supplements like 1,200 milligrams at one time. Try to go 500 and 500.
Okay. So supplements.
Yes.
I know we've been going a little bit, but this is the last, unless you have more, which I'm sure we could talk about this all day. What's your opinion, and this is your educated opinion, on supplements? And let's just talk about menopause, because we could talk all day about just supplements in general, but...
Oh, are you referring to like vitamin mineral or like hormone replacement?
Okay, exactly. So those are two things. So there's just diet supplements, and then there's the hormone replacement. And some women choose to do it, and some women choose to not do it. So let's start with just real quickly. Supplements, yes or no?
I think there's a place for them. I say multivitamin, it's just like an insurance policy. It's good, you absorb 30%. And if you get like a clean one, and I've had several articles on this, if you look at the archives, which ones and how to sort of vet for them. The hormone replacement therapy, that is very personal and individual. It's an individual choice, Talk to your doctor, and it is about your symptoms and your lifestyle, and how much you're suffering, and you really should have that conversation. You got to weigh it out. Sometimes I see women turn around and they're just like, they got a new lease on life.
When they do it?
When they do.
Okay.
And there is the known cancer risk if it's
there's side effects that go along with it too.
So you really want to have that conversation.
Weigh it out, doctor. For sure.
Yeah.
Especially I think if you're not exercising, which I hope you are, but if you're not, I think more people tend to go that route that aren't exercising. So
yes, there's a natural stabilization that can start to occur when you're exercising hormonally.
Sure. So that makes sense. Yeah. All right. Anything else you can add for those of us that might be?
Yes. So sleep can affect your appetite regulation. So I know in menopause, you're having hot flashes, your sleep is all jacked.
See, it is very much like when you have a newborn, isn't it, in pregnancy?
Yeah, you go through all these wonky changes. So I see sleep affecting weight big time with menopausal women and perimenopausal women. So really working on, if you can, that sleep part.
That's why I think, honestly, that so many people attribute weight gain with menopause when it's not necessarily, I know that there's a slight hormonal, well, there's a big hormonal change, but that affects weight gain. It's all of the other things going on in your life that can mess that up. So
that's so true. So don't just blame hormones. Look at your lifestyle, look at everything you're doing. So, and you could just pick a horse, try to fix this lane, and then go to the next one and try to improve each aspect, and then it should all get better.
Great advice from Miriam. Did I call you Gerari? Miriam Turner.
It's moved to the middle.
Gerari Turner. JT, baby.
Yeah.
All right, anything else before we sign off today?
No, I mean, I would say just like, don't give up on yourself, you could always feel better. So,
all right, very good.
Much love.
Much love. All right, you guys, thanks for joining us. And for those body sculpting, fat torching workouts, come into Studio Sweat On Demand. Come into Studio Sweat in San Diego or visit us at Studio Sweat On Demand.